Come up the trip, Eli. South Africa.
It's weeks to explain that. All right. Wow. So today, what's going on? It's good? You ready now? It's one of the longest dafim in Shas. I don't know how long, but what's unique about today's daf is that the first Amid is a sugya and the second Amid Beis is more like an agata, whereas when you have these long dafim, a lot of times it's all agata. So we have a lot to do, a lot to accomplish today. Shkoyach, first of all, to everybody that kept this year going. Shkoyach for giving me the opportunity to take a little break. Shkoyach to Reb Noam, especially, did a phenomenal job. We're mamish zoicha that in our shir we have Magidi Shurim, 4 or 5 of them. It's unbelievable. Rabbi Didier Kramer, a day, fine. Omer Rabbi Yitzchok, we're holding Daf Hey Amid Aleph in Kereisos, 4 lines down. Omer Rabbi Yitzchok, ha'oicha lechem koli v'karmel loike shloisha. It says in the Torah by the Isser of Chodesh, before you bring the Omer, you're not allowed to eat Chodesh. So the Torah describes 3 things here. Lechem koli, we're starting off already. Lechem koli v'karmel. What's lechem? Bread. Koli is roasted or toasted grain. Caramel is when you take the grain and just with your hand you remove the chaff, you remain with the grain. 3 types. Typically, when you have a pasuk that says lechem koli v'karamel, if you have those 3 things in one pasuk, what is that called? Lav shebeklalos. You have 3 lavim, which are really one lav. The Torah gives you 3 examples. So if you're over on all 3, behelam echad, in one awareness, or in one awareness, how much are you chayiv? 1. In this pasuk, it's different. You chayiv 3 times if you eat all 3 of these in one shot. Why? I'm going to tell you the secret. The bottom line is that this word koli is extra, and it's smack in the middle. It should have been either in the front or in the back, and therefore it's a special chiddush in this pasuk that you're over on all 3. Let's see it inside. The bottom line is it's 3 lavim in one pasuk. Shani hacha dimiyati kroi. So now the Gemara searches what's the yitur. Before it gets to this word kali, the Gemara goes through all the words. And bottom line is that every single thing in the pasuk, lechem has a special chiddush. Let's say because it's challah, yimafresh challah. The other things have chiddushim until we get to kali. Leimakra lechem. Let's learn koli and caramel from lechem. You're not mafresh challah from roasted and toasted grain. Nichtav koli v'leichtav lechem. V'neilef mikoli lechem mikoli loy asim mishum de koli isa be'enei. Lechem lo isa be'enei. Says the Gemara, because how do you get the bread? You have to grind it. Rashi on the Beis over here on Dalet on the Beis says that koli and caramel are not ground. Caramel and koli lo yasim mishum de koli. The mishum de koli nisravas imenochos. Where do you find roasted grain by a mincha? By a omer. You start off with toasted grain. I don't know if you remember, we had this whole thing that you have 13 sifters. Remember? You have 13 sifters. It goes from the top. First you sift out all the large pieces, then you sift out all the smallest pieces, then you sift the second largest, and you go from the top to the bottom, top, bottom, bottom. You keep on going until you get to the center one, and that's your soyless. The kitzer, it has to be toasted, and that you don't have by other things. So maybe you should just say caramel, the toasted one, and we'll learn lechem. The caramel is the one that you do with your finger. It's not toasted, it's just grain as is. Nothing changed in this one right over here. It's not toasted, it's exactly as it came off the ground. That's how it is. Forget about grinding it, forget about throwing it in the what was it called? The grinder, the tchina. How do you say tchina in English? Forget about that. You didn't do that, you didn't toast it, and it's just as is. So the typical minchad lo yalfi neilef chadim in train. Maybe you should learn 1 out of 2. Which one? Le'nichtav kra lechem v'neilef mekol v'karamel. The Torah shouldn't say the word lechem. Learn kol v'karamel. Iklemifrach malekol v'karamel disnu beinayun. They're as is. Both koli and caramel, they're either, one is toasted, one is not toasted, but the grain is right there. Maybe you should learn out from lechem and koli the caramel. Bread you have by lechem hapanim, you have by shtei halechem. The koli we just said a second ago you have by the oimer. Caramel you don't have anywhere. So what's extra? Oh, finally we're back to the point. The Torah shouldn't say the word kali. V'nelef melechem v'caramel, and I can learn out toasted from bread and from regular grain. My parches, if you're going to say that bread is special because you have hafrashas challah, caramel yuchiach. Caramel doesn't have hafrashas challah. And if you're going to say caramel is so special, and that's why caramel has this Isser of Chodosh is by caramel. Why? Because caramel is special. What's so special about it? Nothing changed. It's the grain as is. Lechem Yechiach. Lechem, the bread right over here in this chart, the bread is different. You ground it, you put water, you did a lot of stuff to it. And still you're over on Chodosh, so certainly you should be over on Kali. So Bekitzer, the word Kali is completely extra. Hilkach, Loike. That's why you get Malchus. What does this mean? These words are a little difficult. You have to stick in. That's why you're Loike. How many times are you Loike? 3 times. That you Loike one time, that's Pasha you Loike one time. Every pasuk that tells you that it's Asr, you Loike once. The whole sugi is trying to say that you get 3 times Malchus if you eat these 3 items right over here. How do I know that? Because the word kali is extra. Dimiyater, the word kali is extra. Veima, maybe say kali dimiyater mechayev chada. Maybe kali is special and it by itself gets your extra set of malchus. Akula mechayev chada. But if you eat, in other words, if you eat bread and caramel, 2 things, you get 1 malchus for both, and another malchus for kali, because kali is extra. So maybe you get 2 malchus if you eat 3 things. But mehechat you get 3. Inami nichtav koli v'lechem v'karmel amay kosav lekoli be'emtza. Did I skip here? Akula v'chayev choda. Im kein, says the Gemara, nichtav kol lechem karmel v'koli. The word koli should be all the way at the end. Why the red koli over here in the center? Inami nichtav koli v'lechem karmel, or maybe in the beginning of the pasuk. Amay kosav lekoli be'emtza. Hari gomar. Lechem bekoli nechayev v'karmel nechayev bekoli. The bottom line is koli. You get either way. If you eat bread with koli, you get 2. If you eat caramel with koli, you get 2. If you eat all 3, you get 3 malchus.
I'm not sure how you get all 3.
Because there's two. First of all, the koli is extra.
Links to the left or links to the right.
But it's also extra. It's also extra. You have extra and the fact that it's not in the right and not in the left. So you have like 2 yiturim kind of to teach us these things. Okay, the next sugya is like this. We know there's the Gzeir Shava, right? And we had this whole sugya, I think it was wrong. We had a whole sugya, what's better? A Gzeir Shava, Hekesh, where you can be mafrach. We had a whole sugya, right? A whole daf, 2 daf. What came out? A Hekesh is really strong. Gzeir Shava is very strong, but sometimes if it's not mufna, you could break the Gzeir Shava. Sometimes if the words are slightly different and not exact Gzeir Shava, comes the Gemara and says like this. 4 Amoraim say, I want to tell you how strong Gzeir Shava is. A Gzeir Shava is so strong, you should not ever take it lightly. In fact, people get cursed because of Gzeir Shava, and there's 4 different rayas to this concept. Pigul, Noisar, and what are the other ones? All Roiv, Chayve, Skila, and I don't remember the other one. We'll get to it. Don't make fun of Gzeir Shava. Don't take it lightly. Sharei Pigul Echod Megufei Torah. Pigul. Okay. So now, those of you who haven't been to Zvachim, we had a whole masechta about Pigul, but we'll just go over it quickly. Pigul is when a person thinks in his mind while he's doing one of the 4 avodas, Shchita, Kabbalah Hilacha, and Zrika, he thinks in his mind that he's going to eat this carbon after it's a lot of time. Let's say you have a carbon of shlamim that's for 2 days. You can only eat it for 2 days. He thinks to himself, I want to be a big Russia. I want to eat it for 3-4 days later. He's over kares. But if you remember, the Torah doesn't call that pigul. The Torah calls something else. What we call it pigul. Pigul means chutz l'zman. What does the Torah call pigul, Judah? Chutz l'mkoimai. So Judah wasn't here for Zvachim. That's the problem. You're not going to see this, but the Kitzer, just to pretend you have a chart, I was all excited. I could print charts out again. I was off for 20 days. You have the pasuk here about Noisar. It says Noisar, and then it says Pigul Hu, but we say Pigul doesn't mean Pigul. Pigul means Chutz L'Mkoimai. Avayne Isa, he's going to get an Oynish. What is he going to get? Now, how do you know that a person that does real Pigul, what we call Pigul, Chutz L'Zman, how do you know he gets kares? Only from Gzeir Shava to this pasuk. Okay, Avayne Tisa and Avayne Tisa, that's Gzeir Shava. So that's how I know that a person that does Pigul, Chutz L'Zman, gets kares. So the only way I know he gets kares is from Gzeir Shava, so don't take Gzeir Shavas lightly.
Why are you saying people is chutz l'makom?
That's how it is. Because it says, over here it says, Mimenu Avayne Tisa.
Chutz l'makom is outside of Yerushalayim.
No, outside of Beis HaMikdash. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu she'hakolim b'dvaroi.
It says Yom HaShlishi. That's chutz.
Depends what carbon. Shlomo you could eat in Yerushalayim, so for Shlomo it would be outside of Yerushalayim. For other carbonos, chatos would be outside of Beis HaMikdash. Whatever the makom is, but maybe chutz l'makom should also get kares. That's why it says mimenu in red over here. Only this guy gets kares. He doesn't get kares. This is not the sugya. The point is that from Gzeir Shava we know the concept of kares by chutz l'zman. So don't take it lightly. Sharei pigul lechem megufei Torah v'leilim do yakosav adam Gzeir Shava. I only know from Gzeir Shava. Damar Rabbi Yochanan. Tani Zavda Bar Levi. Again, this is Zavda Bar Levi, only one time in Shas, right here on this daf. Nemar lahalon, va'oichla avoyne yisa, v'nemar kan, v'nefesh oichelas mimenu avoyne tisa, that's the Gzeir Shava. It says twice, avoyne tisa, avoyne yisa. Malalon, you see, here's Gzeir Shava, for instance, that the words are not the same. It's not identical. Yisa, tisa means the same, not identical. So I would think maybe, that's how the Rishonim explain, that's how the Mefarshim explain. Why would I think I could get rid of Gzeir Shava? Why would I take it lightly? What's the havamid of the sugya? Because sometimes the words are not exact, and sometimes it's not mufna, it's not extra. Kamash Malon, I take it very seriously the Gzeir Shava and I give the guy kares. Malan kares, Avkan kares. Omer Rabbi Simoy, another Amar. Don't take Gzeir Shava lightly. The Isser of Noisar, when you think in your mind that you're not going to eat the carbon in its time, fakert, I'm going to leave it over. I'm supposed to eat it for 1 day. I'm going to leave it over. I'm not going to eat it. I'm just going to leave it. Mahi, what's Gzeir Shava? Yalav Kodesh Kodesh. Here in this pasuk, if you could even see, it says Kodesh right over here in the pasuk. It starts over Hanoisar and then it says Kodesh, and later it says a different pasuk Kodesh of the Isser, the Chiyuv of Skila.
Noisa is where he plans to leave it or he actually leaves it.
Even when he plans, he gets kares.
So it's a form, it's like pigul.
Yeah. Ki es Kodesh Hashem Chilel uksiv v'suraftes hanoisa b'eish ki Kodesh. Omar Abai. Lo ilavati Gzeir Shava kala b'einecha. Again, another one. Don't take it lightly. Sharei bitu imanu sosoi heinen gufi Torah. The Torah tells us if somebody's with his own daughter from his wife, Yechayiv Sreifa. But the Torah doesn't talk about Anusasai, because Anusasai, there's no marriage. So perhaps a daughter from a non-marriage situation, Anusa, you're not Chayiv. The Torah talks about it, but doesn't say anything about what kind of einish you get. From Gzeir Shava I learn that you get Sreifa, Kosav Elam Gzeir Shava Damarava. First of all, I tell you Gzeir Shava that's Aser, Gzeir Shava that you get Sreifa. Omer Rashi. Alti Gzeir Shava kala beinecha sharei niskolan hein gufei Torah. So Rashi brings down, I just made a little list there for you. Here's the list. Aim, Eshesav, Kala, Mishkav Zachar, Reveh Nirva, Mikal Imoy. How do you know all these are Beskila? It says by all of them, it says the word Demeim Bam with the mother, Demeim Bam, the Dam of Boy, Demeim Bam. And then by Oivin Yedoni, it says all the way at the end, it says Demeim Bam, and Oivin Yedoni and Skila. So this entire list, Skila. Never can the main bomb, and then you don't need the main bomb. Malalam beskila, I've come beskila. All right.
And therefore, if there's no AGM, it's
No edim. What do you know? Asra.
so then
Okay.
it's clear. Then it's halakha.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's according to
Misi b'dei shomayim. Chorus. Okay. Hamafatim is a shemen. We learned in the Mishnah of somebody, this shemen HaMishcha. What's the shemen HaMishcha?
Can I just ask this? Sorry, I know it's a long enough, but why does it suddenly feel that it has to justify?
Oh, how does this
Xer
fit into the
Shabbos?
sugya?
No, Xer Shabbos. Did we have a Havamina that Xer Shabbos are not?
That's what I told you. The Havamina is only because that's the best explanation I could come up with. That sometimes you can knock Xer Shabbos. You could. It's not as strong as a Hakish. If it's mufna,
We knock it.
Right.
We knock it.
but it's telling you in the sense, because since it's knockable, so I would think that it's not the strongest. Right, exactly, kavachomer, that kind of thing. Over here, it's so strong, a guy gets cars based on the Gzer Shabbos. What's this mefatim shemen hamishcha that Moshe Rabbeinu made? Shemen hamishcha Rabbi Yisai was only made once. That's it. It was a one-time thing. Moshe Rabbeinu made one batch. That batch lasts forever. It exists even to this day. If somebody goes ahead and imitates that batch, he makes it, he's chayiv kares. Says the Gemara, "Amfatim Hashemen." Torah Rabbanim, "Amfatim Hashemen." If somebody makes the shemen hamishcha, lilmoid boy, to learn how to do it, and we once had, I forgot on what Masechta, just like a year ago. I think it was Rebbe Kiva who said, you're not allowed to do kishuf, but to teach kishuf, you want to show the whole field, he made the whole field grow, whatever, that's to teach kishuf you're allowed. To teach you're allowed to do. Over here, you're allowed to teach how to make shemen.
Here,
You're never going to use it. That's a different kasha. Okay. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of Rishonim that talk about it. There's a lot of different questions, a lot of answers. One of the answers is that I think Kereisos says that it's talking about actually in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. Because he's asking that later on the Gemara is going to say that was nignaz. They hid it. It's no longer around. So what's the point of teaching somebody how to do it? Okay.
If you see
We gotta
somebody
move it,
today doing it, you know he's doing the Avera. So you have to know what
he's doing. Okay.
To see the Avera.
For whatever reason, somebody's doing it. Oila moisu letzibur potter. Lasoch, but if he does it, lasoch chayiv, vasoch mimenu potter. So let's see what it says here, chaf on the side, because it's a little bit of a problem. I don't know what it says here. Chaf. If he does it to somebody have a girsa here. I don't have my Gemara yet, so I have the regular Gemara. If you use it on yourself, you're potter. You're making it, you're chayiv. So if you use Moshe Rabbeinu's, you are chayiv. If you make it, you are chayiv. But if you make it and somebody else uses it, or you yourself put on your body, you're not chayiv. Omar Mar, Lilmoy boy. How do you know this concept that if you teach somebody a potter? Maskuntoi. Min b'maskunto. The Kereisos. So we learn everything there. Chsiv gai Kereisos. Lo yisasu lochem. You're not allowed to make Kereisos for yourself. Lochem uda aser. But l'moiser l'tzibur potter. To give it over to somebody else, you are potter. Gabi shemen nami l'moiser l'tzibur potter. So if I'm learning out from Kereisos the concept that if you're making it for somebody else, you're potter. So let's go backwards. Let's learn from shemen. What happens if somebody makes half a dose, half a batch of shemen? He is potter. You should also be potter if he makes half a batch. What's the difference between shemen and Kereisos? If you make half a batch of Kereisos, you are chayiv. You shouldn't make like Moshe Rabbeinu's whole batch, but if you make half a batch, you palter kama yudos have a chetziv shapir. Dami. Gav k'toris d'chsiv v'aktoris asher tase kol asir d'ktoris efshel d'maktir pras shachris upras bin arbaim. K'toris is different because k'toris, even though there's a certain amount that you have to make, but if you make less than that amount, you're also yoytza. Even if you make a kazayis of k'toris, you're yoytza that day. So anything that you make in k'toris, as long as it's a kazayis, you are over. But when it comes to sheven, it says k'mayu, it has to be exactly like the shir of Moshe Rabbeinu. Torah Rabbana. Sheven HaMishcha, how do you make the sheven HaMishcha? Okay, finally we're here. What are the ingredients? So the ingredients, it says in the pasuk.
These are the instructions what not to do.
This is the instructions, or when the Beis Hamikdash is going to be rebuilt, you got to run out and bring the Kohen Gadol these things. This is the pasuk. The reason why I put it out here, even though it's brought a lot in here, is this part. The red is a little complicated because it says, "Bring mordror." How much? Chamesh meos. It has to weigh 500 shekel. Then it says the kinmon besem, the cinnamon kind of fragrance. Machatzisoi, half of it, chamishim musayim. So how much cinnamon do you bring? 500. The Torah tells us half of it is it's a tricky lashon. Instead of saying cinnamon, bring 500 cinnamon, no. Half of the amount is 250. But what's really complicated is that the Torah continues and says, uknei boisem, these sticks of fragrance, chamishim musayim, are indeed 250. That's 250. That's not the half. That's the whole amount, 250. But half a cinnamon is 250. So let's see inside. The Gemara discusses it. What's this interesting lashon? So how do you make it? Shemen HaMishcha mar dror chamesh meos. With this pasuk that I pointed out over here, it doesn't bring the next ingredient called kida. Kida chamesh meos. How much do we have so far? 1,000. Kinamon boisem chamesh meos. That the Torah says that kinamon boisem is 250, which is half. The total is 500. It's 500. What do we have total? 1,500. Uknei boisem chamishim u'musayim. And another 250. Nimtzu kulam elef u'shva me'ois v'chamishim. 1,750. Now I went to Panovich, and I was able to add this up myself. Even me. Ask the Gemara, Tana minyane kamashmal on what? You need to tell me how to count. Says the Gemara, Tana kashilei. Ei mekana boisem kinamon keshem ma kinamon boisem machtzisay. Let's read it again. Ei mekana boisem kekinamon boisem. Maybe the two last things in the pasuk are the same amount. Ma kinamon boisem machtzisay b'chamishim musayim. Maybe the last part of the pasuk that says 250 is actually referring to half of the shear. The Torah doesn't really mean just bring Knei Boisim 250. What the Torah meant is half of Knei Boisim is 250, just like the Torah said by the cinnamon that half is 250. So how much is the total? 500 plus 500 plus 500 plus 500, 2,000. It's not 1,750. Maybe the Torah really meant that. Why does the Torah in the middle of the pasuk tell you that half the amount is 250? The Torah should have just continued kinamon boisim and tell me about kinei boisim, and at the end say all that is the half the amount. That's why they're both 250. From the fact that the Torah says that half the amount in the middle of the pasuk, tell me dafka the middle of the pasuk is half the amount. The end of the pasuk is the full 250 is the full amount. Fine. All the way, this is like a gadata, easy stuff. When you weigh these spices, 500 shekel each, does it have to be exact to the gram? Or do you add on? We always have the concept. We learned a few times that when you weigh things for people, you always add a little bit.
For Hekdesh, you add a little bit too.
Hekdesh, we had it by Hekdesh, thank you. Tip the scale a little bit. Right? So we're discussing the old scales. So you put a weight on one side, and you put your product on the other side. So do you tip the scale a little bit, or it has to be exact? The Torah says exact. The Torah says 500. Omar lei Rachmana. So what does Abaya hold? Machloikis here. Abaya holds Rachmana kosav bad bivad, 1-to-1. It has to be exact. But Amos Bechreya, Chutzpah even thought about thinking they have to tip the scale. The Torah Mamish says, Bad bevad. V'omar Rav Yehuda, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yedei Kereisos. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows that you tip the scale. He's going to take care of you. He's going to give you an award. So you see the concept that there is tipping the scale. Elam Rav Yehuda, the kingdom of Boisim and my Ma'asim Achsis L'Chamesh Ma'is. Rav Yehuda says beautiful. Why in the world everybody's thinking to themselves, what's going on here in this pasuk? Why does the Torah tell me half the amount is 250? What kind of business is that? Just tell me the full amount. It says Rav Yehuda Gevaldik, because you have to weigh it in 2 times. When it comes to kingdom and Boisim, you should weigh 250, 250. L'may nafkamina. Nafkamina because you have to tip the scale. When you tip the scale twice, you add that much more to the amount. So it's not really 500. It's 500.002. Because every time you have to do 001. So now you're going to do 001 times 2 is 002. Whatever the amount is. But that it's a Mardik Achap, Rabbi Yehuda says. Otherwise, it makes no sense that the Torah would say, half the amount, by the way, half of a kilo is a half a kilo. There's no point. Just say kilo, finished. Just bring 500 and finish. Since you bring it twice, and I like the pshat that the Shita brings here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to pay you back. Don't worry about it. You're going to take, you added a little bit. I know that you added, and I'm going to pay you back. So, okay, Abaye says bad bevad means it's exact. It's 1-to-1. So what are they going to, what's Rabbi Yehuda going to do with the word bad bevad? Moredik Chidash. Omer Avino shlo yaniach mishkal b'mishkal v'yishkoil. You're talking about one of these scales that you have on the pictures of Rosh Hashanah, right? You put a weight on one end, you have various on one side, the mitzvahs. So what you need to do is you have to take a piece of metal, says Rashi, even though metal is very difficult to understand because we learned that metal is not a good material because it wears off. You have to use glass or something. Rashi says metal, it's metal. Take a piece of metal that weighs 500, you put it on one side, and you put your cinnamon on the other side until it weighs 500. Okay, now I know my cinnamon is 500. So leave it on the scale and use the other side for marjar and kido. Until that, no. One side has to be metal. That's what the Torah is saying. Bad bevad, no matter what, even if you know for sure that this is 500 because I just weighed it, too bad. When you're weighing every single one of the spices, has the one side, the counterbalance, has to be metal and not a spice. You have to cook out the roots. So what's going on here? We have a little bit of a problem. If you take all these measurements, the Art Scroll claims in today's measurements is 500, 1750. Let's say nowadays weighs 50 pounds. That's what the Art Scroll says. Did a little bit of cheshbon, 50 something pounds. If you take the oil, which is 12 lugin, it's a gallon, maybe 2 gallons. Imagine pouring a gallon of oil into 50 pounds of cinnamon. What's going to happen to the oil? It's going to disappear. So, says the Gemara, I have a major problem here. How am I going to get my oil? I need oil. I have to dip my finger in the oil and go like this, the whole Mishkan, to all the Kalim, to the Kohanim all day and night, 7 days straight. Shivasi made miluim. Where's my oil? Disappeared. Says the Gemara, this is what you do. Machlaikis, what you do. I cook it in there. It's not gonna be enough. It gets absorbed. So, or another gear says, you let all the cinnamon and everything, you let it soak in water. Now it can't absorb the oil anymore. Now you pour the oil is going to be on the top. So now the oil has nowhere to go. So it's going to float on the top. And it's going to absorb, though, the fragrance from this whole mixture. And now you remove the oil, and now I have what to deal with. What are you talking about? The whole Shemen HaMishcha is one giant ace to begin with. Why are you so concerned how you're going to find Shemen HaMishcha? The whole thing is an ace from beginning to end. This part is what worries you. We only have 10 minutes, Rabbi Isai. There's only 12 lug, and with those 12 lug, you had to anoint the Mishkan, the Kelav, Aaron, Ubanov, Kol, Shivas, Imam, Elum, and all the kings. And all 12 lug remain. Now one drop of the 12 lug is missing. So who cares that you poured it in to the spices? It's not going to go missing anyways. I'm a cholik on you. You don't have to soak it in water. It's not important. Shenemar Sheva Mishchas Kodesh Yezeh. We just had it recently. I couldn't find it. I did find we had it in Menachas, but I'm sure we had it literally within the last 3 months. This gematria of Zeh, maybe I'm mistaken. Zeh Lilu Darisechem Zeh begematria Yud Beis Lugan Havu. There was 12 that remained, even though you started with 12 and you cooked it and it absorbed in the pot and you put it on the Mishkan, still remain with the same amount as a big nace. Turn Rabbana. Vayigach Moshe Shemen HaMishcha v'yimshoch es HaMishkan. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Shemen HaMishcha shasa Moshe b'midbar. Har same thing. Har benisim nasu by mitchilas v'atzoyfoy. Tchilas lo 12 lugin. Kama yoyre belas. How much does the pot absorb? Kama ikrim boilim. The roots absorb. Kama ha'ur soyref. And then you have just the condensation and the boiling out of it. Ubay nimshach mishkan v'kelev aron ubarav kol shivas yimei eluim. Ubay nimshachu kohanim g'dalim v'melachim. V'afilu kohen gadol. Okay, now a new halacha. Difference, says the Gemara, between the son of a kohen gadol and the son of a king. A son of a kohen gadol, says the Gemara, kohen gadol ben kohen gadol tom meshicha. The son of a kohen gadol needs to be anointed. The son of a king that was already anointed does not need to be anointed. Why? The Gemara is going to bring 4 cases of 4 kings that were sons of kings that were anointed, such as Shlomo HaMelech, who's the son of David HaMelech. David HaMelech was anointed. Why are you anointing Shlomo? Because anytime you have a machlokes, somebody contests your kingdom, somebody jumps up and says, I'm also king, so I need to show the olam that he's wrong. So I anoint even a son. Shlomo HaMelech had Adoniyo. Vesyoyosh, the son of Chazio Mipnei Atalia. Atalia was the grandmother. Vesyochaz Mipnei Yoyakim. Yoyakim is the son of Yoshio because of Yoyakim Achiv. Shei Gadol Me'achiv Shtei Shanim. The Gemara is going to show you in a second what's going on here, who's really older, but because it was contested, so I had to anoint him. Omar Mar. V'afilu Kohen Gadol ben Kohen Gadol Tanu Meshicha Menolan. How do I know this? D'chsiv HaKohen HaMoshiach. It's referring to the Kohen, the Mashiach, but over here, Mibanav Name Akra VaKohen Shetachta Mibanav. Just take out the word Mashiach. Maya Mashiach Hagamashmal Nafim Mibanav Hu the Moshiach have a Kohen Gadol, but the Moshiach lo have a Kohen Gadol. If you anoint him, Mashiach is telling us the extra word. You have to anoint even the son of a Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol is not B'Yerusha. What is B'Yerusha? A Rebbe or a king. Who? Yeah. Omar Mar, Ei Moishchem Melech ben Melech Minolan, Omar Ravacha B'Yagad D'chsiv L'Manyach Yom HaMamalach Yuvanov. Yerusha he. A king, the son of a king, is a Yerusha. That you get an inheritance, and once you get an inheritance, I don't have to do the anointment. Omar Imam Moshcha Shleimoi. Machloikis Adoniya. Minolan D'chiyasim Machloikis by Mashiach. I don't know if there's a Machloikis. You do Mashiach. V'loi kol the boy Malcha Moyeslei Malchusa Marapapa. Well, everybody that jumps up and says, I want to be king, who cares? Marapapa Makor B'Kerev Yisrael. There's Mancha Shalom B'Yisrael. You need peace, and if there's no peace, I need to do the Mashiach. Tana. Af Yehu ben Nimshi. Yehu was a Yisrael king, not a David king. And a Yisrael king, as we're going to see soon, doesn't get Mashiach. Even so, since it was contested, since it was contested, they anointed him. Amai, Tebuklei, the Melech Rishon, what do you mean? He should be anointed because he was the first one in line. His father wasn't a king. Chasur Mechser, what we're supposed to say is, Vachikatani, Machiv is David Moishchem. You only anoint the kings from the dynasty of David. Mach Yisrael Moishchem. So why indeed did they anoint him? How do I know this? The chsiv kum mashcheu ki zehu ze Tom Mashiach ve'nachet Tom Mashiach, only the David kingdom. Omar Mar. What's going on here? Because somebody made a fight, so that's why I should use the Shemen HaMishcha Moshe Rabbeinu and do Me'ilah. Says the Gemara, K'd Omer Rav Papa, Bar Parsama Dachya. Like the Gemara is going to say in a second, this answer that we're not even talking about Moshe Rabbeinu Shemen. We're talking about Afar Samoin, Balsam, pure Afar Samoin. Afar Samoin Dachya. So bottom line is, if I have to anoint a king or I have to anoint Shlomo HaMelech, who's a contested king, then I use the fake shemen. I use a fire shemen. I don't use the real thing. As the Gemara Mikashish, look at the pasuk over here for a second. It says, who's the Bechor? Yochanan. Number 1 is Yochanan. Number 2 is Yoyakim. Number 3 is Tzidkiyahu. Number 4 is Shalom. Now the Gemara is going to say Shalom, Tzidkiyahu, 3 and 4 are the same person. Says the Gemara, HaBechor Yochanan, Hasheni Yoyakim. So who's older? Yochanan is older than Yoyakim. Hasheni Tzidkiyahu Revi Shalom. V'Omer Rabbi Yochanan. Who Yoyachaz is? This Yochanan, whatever the Girsa is, but Yochanan is really Yoyachaz. So who's older? Yoyachaz is older. Number 1 is older than number 2. So Yoyachaz is actually older than Yoyakim. So why are you telling me that Yoyakim said I should be the king because I'm older? Yoyakim Koshish. No, you're right. Yoyakim is actually older than Yoyachaz. And it says that the Bechor, look over here. Ha-Bechor Yochanan. It says in the pasuk Mefurish. Who is the Bechor? Yochanan. And Yochanan is Yoyachaz. What's the Pshat? The Pshat is not that he's the real Bechor. The Pshat is he's the first one for the kingdom. Why? How can you put a younger one? How can you put Yochanan before Yoyakim when he's younger than Yoyakim? It always goes by the oldest. Yoyachaz was a tzaddik. He had chachma, he had yira. And Taisus points out the last words in Taisus on the page. By the way, if you notice, all these pages are huge. The whole Masechta is huge. Very, very small Taisus in. And it's really a flaw, I believe, in the Daf Yomi in general. Because if you have a giant Taisus in, you have a small daf, and then you have a 10-minute cheer. It should be, every daf, every day you should do 500 words, and that's it. It will be equal. But no, because of Vilna, and because they decided to put the Taisus in, every day is different. So, B'kitzur, we have a giant daf today with tiny Taisus in. What? Okay, but this tiny Taisus, that's why you have 1,000 words on this page. But Taisus points out here that Yoyachaz, the Gemara just said he's a tzaddik like his father. Says Taisus, he was a tzaddik like his father. And then he became a Rasha. Says the Gemara, Omar Mar, who Shalom Hu Tzidkiyahu? Number 3 and 4 in this pasuk right over here are the same man. What do you mean? The pasuk says Mefurish, Hashlishi Tzidkiyahu, Haravi Shalom. They're 2 different people. So the Gemara, he was the 3rd son. Why does the Torah call him 4th? He was the 4th in the kingdom. His nephew Yechanya was not a brother. He ruled before him. First, number 1 was Yochanan, who was the Yoyachaz. V'soif, and when he was done, Malach Yoyakim, number 2, like the pasuk says. V'soif Malach Yechanya, number 3, right over here, you have to insert Yechanya. V'soif Malach Tzidkiyahu. Torah Rabbanim. Who Shalom Tzidkiyahu? It's the same person. V'lo Medekar Shmoi Shalom. Shalom b'ma'asav, he was whole, complete. He was a tzaddik. Dov Acher. Shalom Sheshalom Machaz Biz David. He was the end. He was the end of the whole dynasty. Sheshalom Machaz Biz David Yamav. Umashmoi Matanya. His real name was Matanya. Shenem Aviyim Loich Melech Bavel is Matanya Doi Tachtov Vayosef Shmoi Tzidkiyahu. And they made his name Tzidkiyahu. Domer Loi. Nebuchadnezzar told him, Yo Yatzik Olechos Hadin Im Timroi Bi. If you will be morid, if you rebel against me, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will agree to what I punish you. Shenemar v'yiveu bavelo chsiv v'gam v'melech Nebuchadnezzar. Morid, at the end he did rebel. Asher shbi'u b'Elohim, Nebuchadnezzar swore him to Hashem, and that's why his name is Tzidkiyahu. Umiyav Hashem and Amishcha. How do we even have this oil? V'tanyim shenignas aroin, nignas sinsenes. They buried the Aron, they buried the Tzintzenes Hamon, Utzluch Shemen, and the oil. Shemen HaMishcha, Umakli Shel Aaron, and the staff of Aaron. Shkdei Baruchel, Va'arga Sheshagru Plishim, the whole story of it with the Plishim, interesting story. The bottom line is, they sent out the Aron, the Plishim stole the Aron, they had tremendous tsar, people dying, they were getting sick. They decided, every time I hear the story, it's crazy. They decided to give a gift to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what? Hemorrhoids, made out of gold, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and 5 mice. That was the gift to Hashem, and it actually worked. It was a way of them showing that they surrendered to Hashem. And
they sent it to Beit Shemesh.
they sent it to Beit Shemesh right here, and we got the Aron back. Very good. But the point is that all these 4 things were hidden forever. So how in the world was there Shemen HaMishcha? What's the answer going to be? Like we said before, this is where Papa comes in and says that the answer is that they used fake oil, not the real thing.
-5
minutes. Who hid it? Yeshua Melech Yehuda Gonzoi. Shenemar B'Rebbe Melech HaKohanim. You learned the man that was nignaz Aseh Doris. You learned that the Shemen Mishcha was nignaz Aseh Mishmeres. That the staff of Aaron was nignaz. You're right. There's no more oil. We had to use that fast. What should we do? We have these massive dapim. Learn 2 more minutes. Let's learn 2 more minutes. You put a crown, like a crown on the king. And the Kohanim, you do like a key. What's a key? Major machlokes Rishonim. Rashi over here, there's a picture like a X. It could be like a test. It could be like an upside down V. It could be a gimel. It could be a nun. It could be a lot of things. Omer Rav Menashe, it's the 23rd letter. Rabbi Schomburg, I remember he had a whole Torah. He brought his papers back then when we learned the sugya in Menachos. Omer Rav Menashe kimin ki yivani. Toni chad betchila matzik shemen al roish v'achak technoisin shelo shemen berisei enov. Machlokes. Do you first pour it on his head and then smear it between his eyelids, or v'toni achritel betchila noisin loy shemen berisei enov? You smear it between his eyes v'achak matzik loy shemen al roish, and then you pour it on his head. What's the difference? Tanoi, it's machlokes. Iklamando omar meshicha adifa, iklamando omar yitzik adifa. What's better, to pour it or to smear it? By the time of the mandoma yitzik adifa, shenem avitzik mishem amishcha risha Aaron, umandoma meshicha adifa, and the one that says that smearing is better, ksava shkenes rabbe itzok tishores, because that's how they did it with the klishores. They smeared. V'ksiva yitzok gotzav yimshach, but it does say in the pasuk that it's better to pour. Hachigomar mata v'yitzok. Why do you pour? Mishum v'yimshach ois lekadosh. Torah rabbanon. Here's the pasuk. It's very interesting. There's a shir amalois that has 3 psukim. All these 3 psukim are referring to the shemen that Moshe Rabbeinu poured on Aaron. Says the Gemara. Interesting. His entire life. It's a good thing you guys didn't leave. Aaron HaKohen walked around on his beard with 2 drops of oil his entire life. And they were on the bottom. You know how it goes, like when it drips and it hangs on the bottom of the hair? That's how it was. But when he started talking, it was in danger of falling, because now you're vibrating it, so it crawled right back up to his chin. Now, he was worried. When he started talking, maybe I poured so much oil that is left over for the rest of his life. Right here, this pasuk, that's what it means. It should be like dew, it's nothing. Wait a minute. Okay, my brother got off. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said he's off. What about me? The famous pasuk, the famous song. The first pasuk in this Shir HaMalos is telling Aaron HaKohen, you don't worry. You're like your brother. Just like your brother got off the hook, you're off the hook. Even if it falls on the floor, the piece of oil, you're wearing oil. Fine, we'll stop right over here. Have a wonderful day.
After you use a mitzvah,
Yeah.
to pour the wine, so then there's no me'ila on that anymore. He did what we were supposed to do with the